G'day, how you doing? Adam here from Poseidon Racing with another video in this series, which is the ultimate beginner's guide to Zed Run. Everything that you need to know to create your first stable, to build that stable, and also have that stable winning as many races as possible as soon as possible. That is the goal. That is basically, this series is all the information that I have acquired over all my time in Zed Run in building Poseidon Racing, which is now one of the biggest and one of the most winningest stables in Zed Run. Is winningest even a word? Probably not, but you get what I mean. We're going to try and build up your stable as fast as possible and win as many races as soon as possible. If that sounds good, stay tuned. If this is your first video in the series, of course, have a look in the description below. There'll be the complete link, the link to the complete playlist of this series. Click on there, watch those videos, make some notes, and start building up your Zed Run stable. Okay, today, or in fact yesterday's video, we looked at establishing our first stable, creating our first Zed Run stable, connecting Metamask, all those things. Now we need to put a little bit of Ethereum into our Metamask stable, okay? And that's what we'll look at today. Let's jump over to full screen. Here we are here, and you can see I'm actually in my stable view. So if we're on the racing channel, I can click on my stable icon here, and we have my stable view. Now this is not my main racing stable. This is Poseidon Sales. This is where I sell my horses from, my offspring from. You can see I don't have a lot of wins, a nice win percentage, mind you, but my main stable has a lot more races and a lot more wins than this. But that's okay. This will be good for demonstration purposes in any case. Now let me just log out for a moment, because maybe your stable is not currently connected and you're getting a screen that looks much like this. All we need to do, if of course you set up your stable yesterday and created your Metamask, well, in the previous video, maybe it wasn't yesterday, in the previous video, we click Connect Metamask, click on Authenticate, and sign in, of course, making sure we're signing into Zed.Run, and of course making sure up here that we're at the right page. Zed.Run, yes I am, and yes I am. Click Authenticate, click Sign, and we're in. I pressed that twice so I can cancel that second one. Okay, now the second thing, you can see in my wallet, I currently have in my main ETH wallet, this is your Metamask wallet, this is reflecting my Metamask balance. $1,420 US roughly. And then if I look and click on Metamask, 1422. So they're using slightly different transfer rates or US dollar rates, but it's very, very close, isn't it? 1422 as opposed to 1420. Maybe this one hasn't updated recently. That's fine. They relate to each other. It's the same amount of Ethereum in there that is in my Metamask wallet. Now the secondary wallet, the WETH balance, which is wrapped Ethereum, is your Zed wallet, okay? And you can see currently I have 5,000 in there as I'm preparing for the upcoming release of some new horses, all right? And we'll talk about how to buy your new horse in one of the next videos coming up. So make sure you have a look at that full playlist in the description below. Okay, so what the WETH does is the WETH is your Zed wallet, and that will allow you to buy your first horse and enter your first paid races. For example, if I come over here to racing, and you can see here, we'll talk about entering your first race later as well, but you can see here there's different entry fees, roughly $5, $2.60, more $5 ones, or $4.95, $25, $10. Okay, we'll talk all about those details later, but to enter those paid races, you need to have some WETH in your WETH balance there. Okay, of course, there are free races as well. In an upcoming video, we will touch on entering your first race and the differences between free and paid, and how to, give yourself advantage to win more races than, or win your fair share of races. Or in fact, our goal is that you win more than your fair share of races. That is the goal of this series. Okay, But what we need to do, we need to fund this balance. We need to get some money in there because currently yours probably says 0 USD, 0 USD for ETH and WETH. Now, for me, the easy way is to set up, or what I have done, and this is not financial advice, and absolutely do your own research and make sure that you choose a reputable website for doing your purchasing of Ethereum and whatnot. Now, you can click on your Metamask. So up here, I've got my little Metamask up here in my browser extensions. And you can click buy, but that doesn't work for me. So I don't necessarily recommend that. If you want to test that, like maybe test it out with buying a small amount, $5, $10, $20, and see if that works. You could do that. But I had a mate in Australia and he tried that with $20 and it never showed up. It never came out of his account, luckily, but it never showed up either. So that was all a bit of a waste of time. So in Australia, I like to use CoinSpot. Okay, here's my CoinSpot account and I'll blur out all of my different coins there and my balances. But you can use CoinSpot in Australia to buy and also sell Ethereum. And this is really important because this game, Zed Run, is essentially an Ethereum-based game. So you're entering with Ethereum, or in this case, wrapped Ethereum, and you're also winning wrapped Ethereum, which you can then convert to Ethereum and then sell, transfer back to your main account, somewhere like CoinSpot here, and then sell that back for, in my case, Australian dollars. In your case, it might be US dollars or some other regional currency. Okay, so do your own research and see if CoinSpot might be for you. I will leave, just because why not, I will leave a referral code in the description for this video, which at the time of this recording will give you, I think, a $10 bonus. Woohoo, $10, right? But, you know, $10 is great for you and great for me. So, you know, why not? If you do decide to choose CoinSpot, and look, I'm not suggesting you should absolutely use this. What I'm suggesting is that you should do your research and see which best suits you. So figure out what the CoinSpot fees are. Is there a better way for you? Look, in Australia, there's not too many options currently. So I've been with CoinSpot for a couple of years and it's worked quite well. Some of the other big ones that I know of, Coinbase is another big one that I've used before. But as I said, do some research, see what the fees are, see what the best options are. I would recommend that you choose one that has a lot of positive reviews because there's some dodgy outfits out there. Okay, so just be aware, once again, be very aware, don't be afraid. Be aware that there's some dodgy websites that are trying to do you out of your money. I haven't had an issue with CoinSpot and I never had an issue with Coinbase previously. Now, of course, before we do anything, we need to, well, there would be some verification processes that you need to go through. So go ahead and do those, whatever is required. And then we would need to click deposit AUD. And of course, there's several options here, your favorite deposit, direct deposit straight from your bank, etc., etc. Whatever suits you, you go ahead and fill out those. I would suggest, once again, the best course of action is to deposit a very small amount first. Make sure that that all happens over the coming days. And then once you're confident that you've got the process down and your money is being transferred in the correct amounts, then you can go ahead and maybe transfer a slightly larger amount to start your Zed Run balance going. Now, once you have that balance going, you would come over and come to buy and sell. Type in here ETH, ETH. Now, you don't want Ethereum Classic. Don't buy Ethereum Classic. You want Ethereum here, this one here. Okay. And you just click buy Ethereum. And once you have a little bit of AUD in there, you would type in how much AUD you want to convert to Ethereum. You know, maybe $500 or something like that. Okay, click buy. And then I won't do that. You would come back to your wallets here. And within maybe a minute or two, your Ethereum wallet, hit refresh after a couple of minutes, your Ethereum wallet will show a balance of Ethereum and a current Ethereum price. In my case, it's in Australian dollars. So the process so far, we transfer a small amount of AUD into our exchange wallet, whether that be CoinSpot or another, just to confirm that that works. And then we transfer a slightly larger amount to just get comfortable with that process. Perfect. And then we've then used that amount to buy some Ethereum. And then the next step, of course, now we have an Ethereum balance. You know, we might have a small amount here of Ethereum. We now need to transfer that to Metamask, okay? So it's a bit of a three-step process. Transfer some money from your bank account into your exchange of choice, okay? And then using that money that you transferred to then buy your first amount of Ethereum, and then transfer that Ethereum back over to Metamask, okay? It's a bit of a hurdle, but it will be worth it. It will be worth it. We just click on Open our ETH wallet, and this will be slightly different, but very similar on other exchanges. And we come here to Send. Send, and I've managed to, where is my Zed Run wallet? Here, let's put it there. So we come to Send, and we need to go Amount, and you might wish to click Send All Available. Okay, if that's what you're intending on doing, go ahead and do that. And then, or you can type in an amount, either in, it's got to be in Ethereum on this particular, in this particular exchange. And then the ETH address, what you need to do is come here, well, you can either go back to Zed Run, but you don't have to. You can click on your MetaMask from any website. Here we go, MetaMask. And if I click on account 1, that will copy to the clipboard. Come down here, click Command or Control V to paste that there, or you can right click and select paste. Then you can see we have that code there. Now always double check that code by clicking on MetaMask. And I can check the first few letters. That's generally all I do, but you can see mine says 0x4ADA, perfect. And then the last 4 is F032, perfect, that matches up. All right, that's excellent. And then you would put in your, I've got 2-factor authentication code on here, which I think might be required for a Coinbase account. So I would type in that and press Send, and that will send straight over to my MetaMask wallet. It takes about 5 or 6 minutes normally, something like that. And we should then have money in our MetaMask. So we're all done on that level. Then in 5 or 6 minutes, we come back here. As you can see, there's a free race that's popped up. We'll talk about those later. 5 or 6 minutes, you would come back to here. You would see that in your MetaMask, you would have an amount of Ethereum, okay, and a US dollar amount. That would also be reflected, you may have to refresh, but that will also be reflected in this ETH balance here. And the final step is we need to transfer some of that ETH, or all of that ETH if you like, into WETH balance. Now, in actual fact, I don't recommend you sending all of the Ethereum, because I would recommend that you hold back like $50 or $60, because there's going to be some gas transactions in moving ETH around at some stage. All right, and if you're stuck with 0, then you need to go and buy some more at CoinSpot or whatever and transfer it, and it's all a headache. So make sure you leave $50 worth of Ethereum in your ETH balance, okay? Now, if we click on this little wallet, we need to bring some of that new ETH into our WETH wallet. Just move my head out of the way. Okay, so click on that little wallet icon there. And look, it's always a good idea to write down what your current ETH balance is and what your current WETH balance is before the transaction, just so that you know where you are. You can see mine is 0.4439 currently, and my WETH is 2.1. So I'm now, what we need to do is transfer some of this ETH, because in your case, you probably have a little bit of ETH there and 0 WETH currently, and we need some WETH so that we can, of course, buy a horse and, you know, transact within the Zed Run ecosystem. So buy horse, enter paid racing, and even breed our horses. They all require WETH in the Zed wallet here. So there's this little icon. It's got a little Zed wallet icon. It says deposit with a little downwards arrow to the WETH. If we click that deposit button, and as I said, we want to leave a little bit of ETH in your account. So just type in an amount here that leaves you with about $50 in your account. Now, just for a test run, I'm just going to put 0.1, which is just 260 US dollars roughly. And once we've got that sorted, I'm going to press deposit to WETH. Click on there, have a read of that, and then if you're happy, click confirm. This should pop up, this little confirmation button. You can see here, there's a gas fee. Now, earlier I did a test run on this and my gas was $4.50, which was really, really low. And I have seen the gas on this be up to $50. Okay, so if that gas fee is an extraordinarily high level in whatever you're doing, transferring ETH to WETH or buying a horse or anything like that. In fact, buying horses is now gas free, so you don't have to worry about it. In fact, the majority of the Zed Run ecosystem is now gas free, which is fantastic. But there will be some circumstances where you will come across the gas fee. And if it is really, really high, you could probably check something like, I'm just going to confirm mine because I'm happy with $11.50. It's not too bad. It's not the best, but it's not too bad. So I'll come and show you about gas in a minute, but let me click confirm just so this is wrapped up. And you can see that green button has now changed to grey, processing. This could take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, sometimes it takes a couple of hours, all right? But if you get a crazy high gas fee, you can always check the gas prices by going to something like Google and typing in Ethereum, there we go, gas fee chart. Let's have a look at this one, ethereumprice.org. Perfect, perfect. You can see earlier I was down at this lull here and now it's spiked up a little bit. Spiked up a little bit there. Okay, so, but that's fine. You just don't want to be right up here on these spikes where you get a fee of like $100 or something like that. So just be careful. If you're unsure, if you think the transaction cost is too much, and it's basically just a transaction fee for doing your transaction, swapping ETH to WETH in this case. Or if you want to cash out, you'll also have to pay gas, swapping WETH back to ETH, because you'll need to do that to transfer back to your exchange, your CoinSpot or Coinbase or whatever exchange you have chosen. Okay, so keep that in mind. How are we going here? I should have written that down, shouldn't I? I didn't write it down. But what we can also do to see if this has moved anywhere is we can come up here, click on our Metamask extension, and you can see it's still pending. This will take 3 or 4 minutes. Just let it do its thing. It could take 10 or 20 minutes. If gas is spiking, what tends to happen, if gas is racing up just at the very time you've clicked process or click confirm, then what tends to happen is the miners who are confirming the transactions and getting the gas fees, where the gas fees go to, but they're doing all the hard work in the background, the miners' computers, they will prioritize the more expensive gas fees first. So if someone else has had a gas fee come in at $8, or sorry, if someone else's, mine was $10.50 I think, wasn't it? Something like that, and someone else is suddenly paying $20, then they'll take the $20 first. So if the gas prices that they are recommending are spiking, and you paid 10 and then it spikes to 20, you'll have to wait your turn until it maybe drops back down to 10 again. Okay, so if you are super duper impatient, you can always click the speed up button. I very, very rarely do this. And you can see, obviously I wouldn't want to slow it down, but you can speed it up to extra fast here, or sorry, just fast. But I'm not going to do that. I'll just take my time and be patient and let this go through, and it shouldn't take too long. In the meantime, I'll pause the video and we'll come back when this is processed. Okay, so as you can see up on the chart here now in my activity, so the way you find that activity again, just one more time, come up here to your browser extensions, click on Metamask, and then if you're on assets like so, you can click over to activity here, and you can see I've gone from pending to deposited. It's gone through, and my balance has changed as well from, I think it was 0.44 to to 0.3399, and if I click here as well, you can see it hasn't reflected down in my WETH balance yet. And this can be rather concerning. If I just press refresh, let's see what happens. This is quite normal, but can be very concerning for a beginner because you're like, well, it's disappeared from here, but it hasn't shown up here. What we can do though, see where it says ETH balance and it's got this little square with an arrow. It says view your detailed ETH balance. We can click there. And you can see 2 minutes ago, we had a transaction of 0.1 Ethereum go across the Polygon bridge, Matic bridge. Okay, that's perfect. And it hasn't shown up here yet, but that's okay, just chill. It'd be nice if they had a little spinning circle or something to tell us that, and I'm sure that's going to be on the way. But it usually takes about 6 or 7 minutes, and then it will show up. That's what we're hoping for. Now, in the meantime, you can also check your WETH balance here with the same detailed transaction history. If I click there, the same little icon, we come to our Matic token transactions. And you can see I did a test run about an hour ago, and that actually took 6 or 7 minutes to show up, but it eventually did. Now this can take longer than that. Sometimes the Matic bridge is a bit slow as well, and it might take a couple of hours. All right, so just keep that in mind. It hasn't showed up yet. We're looking for 2.2 as the final balance. And in the meantime, look, if something for whatever reason, it doesn't show up, you can click back on the Zed homepage, click on the Zed icon here. And I believe, yeah, there it is there. There's a help box here. If you click that help box, let's say it's been half a day and that WETH hasn't come across, then, you know, give it 5 or 6 hours and then come here and you can type in here, what do you need assistance with, and payment delay maybe, or payment deposit. Click one of those that's appropriate, payment deposit. Type in your details there, type in what's going on. Tell them that it's been 6, 7 hours and your WETH hasn't shown up, but your ETH has gone missing. And they will reassure you that there's nothing going on there, or if there is something going on, they will fix it up for you. How are we going? Still 2.1. Okay, we'll take another 5-minute break and I'll come back. Fingers crossed it's all there, and we can be safe in the knowledge that we did the right thing, which we absolutely did. But you know, it's good to show you this, that it does take a little bit of time, so you're not sort of freaking out. And hence why it can also be a good idea to sort of do, you know, run through this process with a smaller amount, maybe a couple of $100 to begin with. And then once you're comfortable with all the steps, then you can run through and do it with a little bit more balance of what you would like to fund your ETH and WETH balance in Zed Run with. Okay, it's still not there, so we'll take another break and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, we're back again. And you can see now we have that 2.2. So let's just take a look behind the scenes and see how long that took. So of course we can see via this little icon here, view your detailed ETH balance. Just next to where it says ETH balance, there's a little square with an arrow. If we click that, we get our detailed transaction history. And you can see we made a transaction for 0.1 Ether across the Polygon Matic bridge 15 minutes ago. And then if we come down here to our WETH balance and do the same thing, get our detailed WETH transaction history. Remember, it left our wallet 15 minutes ago and arrived here just 5 minutes ago. 0.15 minutes ago. So it took 10 minutes. So that can be relatively nerve-wracking the first time around, obviously, because it's disappeared from one account and doesn't show up in the other account. And it doesn't give us any sort of ticking clock or anything to suggest that anything is really going on. So just be aware of that, and if it happens to take longer than 3 or 4 hours, then as I said, jump back here to the main home page, click on the Z icon, click help, fill that in there and someone will be in touch. But it's always worked for me, but that's not to say that it might mess up at some stage. So keep that in mind. That's all there really is to it. We've managed to set up our exchange account where we can buy some Ethereum in our own country. We then have to send that to our Metamask wallet, as we did. We send that to our Metamask wallet, and then from our Metamask wallet, we send that to our WETH Zed balance. You now should have some WETH in your Zed balance, okay, which will allow you to enter paid racing, breed your horses, and also, of course, buy horses, you know, either via OpenSea, or if the drops are still going on, the public Zed Run drops are still going on when you watch this video, you can buy horses there as well. But of course, in the upcoming videos, we're going to talk about buying your first horse, all the exciting stuff. We've done the boring stuff, setting up the stable and funding our wallet. Now we can talk about the exciting stuff, buying our first horse, so that I can hopefully, fingers crossed, advise you away from buying something completely rubbish like most of us do first off. Buy a decent horse, and then look how we can most efficiently race that horse and get the best out of that horse so it rises in value and wins a whole bunch of races. That is the plan. If that sounds exciting, make sure you click on the description and have a look down there. You'll find the link to the complete playlist for this, the ultimate beginner's guide to Zed Run. Thanks again for watching along. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.